Cheap pencils versus expensive pencils. But is the price difference worth it? These are a pack of 12 Staedtler coloring pencils. They cost me £3, so they are very affordable. I've used other Staedtler pencils before and they are really good, so I'm hoping these will surprise me. This is a pack of 60 Faber Castell Polychromos coloring pencils. They've been one of my main coloring pencils for a couple of years now, so I'm quite comfortable with them. They are very good, but the pack of 60 costs £80, and the pack of 12 costs about £15. So they are quite pricey. So let's see how they differ. I'm only going to be using 12 Polychromos, and I'll be doing my best to match up the colors to make the comparison as fair as possible. I want to give a big shout out to Jazza, Super Ray Dizzle, Temi Danso Art, ADC Art Attack, and all the other artists who have already done this idea. Before we start, let's sharpen and swatch the pencils. I did this part way into the first drawing, because I completely forgot that I should do it. I was able to get a good range of tones from the Staedtlers just using different levels of pressure, but the black pencil didn't go as dark as I would have liked. The Faber Castells got good saturation with less pressure than the Staedtlers, but the end results looked pretty much the same, apart from the Faber Castell black pencil which got a lot darker than the Staedtler. My color matching wasn't perfect. The pink was a little off, and I swapped out the brown for a lighter one. But I think I got it as close as I could. Here you can see the swatches, as well as some blend tests. They both did great, but the Faber Castells blended a bit easier, while the Staedtlers had trouble mixing the colors properly if I used too much pressure. The blending issues are especially noticeable on the test on the right where I layered the brown on top of a purple. The Staedtlers barely mixed at all and left it looking mostly purple, while the Faber Castells blended really nicely. Now let's get drawing. For this challenge I'll be doing 2 drawings of Mirabel from Disney's Encanto. One with the Staedtlers, and one with the Faber Castells. This might not be an easy task, but I've been drawing for about 12 years now, so I think it's safe to say I know what that line's not in the right place. That's better. As I was saying, I know what that's also in the wrong place. Maybe we should skip to the next bit. I start with the background. It's not as complicated and it helps me get a grip on how the pencils feel. I start lightly and try to layer with some different colors. It comes together nicely. The colors blend quite well with low to mid pressure and I was able to build up layers quite easily. As I start on the hair they don't feel as saturated as I'm used to, but the colors are nice. They do feel nice on the page. I'm immediately noticing the lack of colors, but then that's more to do with what I'm used to. I actually think they selected the colors really well, and I don't remember desperately needing a different color. Apart from white. It dawned on me that I don't have a white pencil in this set. And I could really do with a white pencil. The black pencil seems to be more gray than black, and the brown pencil doesn't seem to mix as well with other colors. I'm struggling to get really dark tones, which limits the contrast I can get. This cheek area is one of the most successful parts of layering I've done so far. I don't need to press quite so hard, so I get the chance to layer gently and build up really nice tones. The colors work well together. It's still not as saturated as I'd like, but the results look great. Even with the saturation issues, the colors are really nice. I had a lot of fun building up the tones. I really liked how the lighting and the colors turned out on her nose. The colors aren't as saturated as I'm used to, but they look really nice. The neck also went quite well. It took me a while, but blending color with these pencils is starting to feel really enjoyable now. It's still not the smoothest finish, and it still lacks a lot of contrast. The amount of pressure you can use before layering becomes incredibly difficult is a lot lower than what I'm used to with other pencils. But her neck and face were really fun to draw. The shirt went really well. Layering seems to be easier if I use really light pressure, and with the shirt being quite pale I didn't really need to push that hard. So I was able to get some nice colors in there. Aside from the slight saturation and blending issues, these pencils feel really good to use. This part of her ear is a very vibrant orange. So I can press quite hard to get a simple but saturated tone. This black area of the hair really shows the issue with the black pencil. It's not as black as I'd like, even when I use more pressure. This limits the amount of contrast I'm able to get. The results might not be perfect. There are elements of brown tones missing from her face. The brown pencil feels especially unhelpful when layered on top of other colors. But I'm just glad she didn't end up looking whitewashed. The background gave me another chance to do lots of layering and blending. Even with the lower saturation, I think the results were really nice. And we're done with the first drawing. All in all, these pencils were amazing for the price. They obviously had their limitations and flaws, but for £3 they did an incredible job. The colors were nice and were well chosen. Apart from the lack of a white pencil, I never felt a desperate need for any other color. They blended well under low pressure and got decent saturation with firmer pressure. They did a really great job. Now let's see how the more expensive pencils match up. It's much easier to add more layers with these pencils, even after using more pressure. But the lack of a white pencil is as annoying with these pencils as it is with the cheaper pencils. I'm able to go much bolder with my colors with these pencils, and the darker black really helps add some much needed contrast. They feel much smoother on the page as well. They feel softer and easier to get on the paper. The lack of a white pencil is annoying me again. I'm using my mechanical eraser to try to lighten the colors, but this would be much easier with a white pencil. Like with the cheaper pencils, the next been a lot of fun to draw. I can really start to lay some thick color down and start to push a little harder to smooth it out and get it nice and saturated. The darker black really allows the other vivid colors to pop and show through. It helps give the image more contrast, which bumps up the overall quality of the image. The hair starts to look really nice with the extra darkness of the black alongside the more vibrant colors. It's a lot of fun building up the colors. The area around her eye looks so vibrant. As we move on to the mouth, I should say that I hate drawing teeth regardless of the price of the art tools. I was able to get some really nice vibrant smooth tones in the face. I think the face went really well with both pencils. But the Faber Castells just had more saturation. But that's not surprising considering the price difference. The Faber Castells are my go-to coloring pencil at the moment. I use a few different types and brands together, but these are usually the foundation of all my standard coloring work. There's really not too much to say about these pencils. They just feel amazing. They feel so easy to use, easy to blend, and the colors are incredible. In the drawing with the cheaper pencils, I wasn't able to get certain tones in her face, so I tried harder to do it in the drawing with the more expensive pencils. But I think I overcompensated a little and made her more orange than she needed to be. But again, at least I didn't whitewash her. The background was pretty standard. Good colors, nice blending. Nothing too difficult. So, my final thoughts. The expensive pencils are better. But they were always going to be. A pack of 12 Polychromos is about 5 times the price of the Staedtlers, so you would hope there was a big difference in the quality of the drawings. But with that being said, the Staedtlers were amazing for the price. They handled the job well and did so much better than I was expecting. The colors are nice. They can get nice and smooth. They blend well when used with low pressure. Obviously they had issues here and there, but that's to be expected. All in all, they really showed that you don't need expensive tools to have fun and make good quality art. Staedtler have made a really nice, really affordable option with these pencils. And my final thoughts on the Faber Castells is that they are just really great pencils. Easy to use, smooth texture, very easy to blend, and the colors are so vivid and nice. They are great all-round coloring pencils. But what do you think? Do you like the vivid saturation of the Faber Castells? Or do you prefer the paler style of the Staedtlers? Let me know in the comment section down below. And remember to like and subscribe for more art if you enjoyed this video.